Hey there guys, it is me Alex, and today I'm going to be showing you a farming guide for the incredible adventures of Van Helsing, episode 1. The reason for this guide is that there are several spike difficulties there where it gets very tough very quickly, and having several of the set and unique items put on your character makes the game so much more simpler, to the point where it is practically baby mode if you take the time to get all the proper set items like this, or like the unique items like this. This is a quest unique, so it doesn't fully apply here, but you get the drift. And there are certain areas in the game where it is much easier to acquire them than just by random luck of killing monsters. And the first area that I'm going to show you is in Croke Wood, the first major boss in the campaign, where you fight. I think it's Grulum or something like that. I'm really over leveled, so don't worry about me even trying to fight any of these guys. Something that's really neat is when you are between level 1 to 11, this is an excellent area in itself, just a farm for monster kills. But what you do is you go to the Werewolf Den, and then you enter it. Now, when you first beat the boss here, he will provide no, you'll fight him as normal. You'll have to kill him as a boss. But when you come back to this area after resetting the game, and something that's also very important to mention, also I'll say it now before it's too late. What you need to do is in the gameplay section, you need to check off enemies will respawn when you leave the game and return later. That is a must-have, or else none of this stuff will work when it comes to farming monsters. So you come back to the Wolf Den. As you can see, all these guys. I think this is more of a bug where where unintended coding, because all of them are friendly to you, especially if you save him. If you let him live, he will always be friends with you. But if you kill him, you will be enemies with him after Act 2. During Act 1, this friendly thing will glitch. So there's a treasure chest right here. Whenever you beat him, after you beat him, you can collect it, and you will always get about 700 gold, a few rares, and usually you'll get a set item. And this is the Avenger armor, which is pretty good armor. Gives you extra HP, some resistances as you collect the rest of the sets. It's a good piece. The cool thing that you do is you town portal out anywhere around this section of the map. I'm using a character that's much higher level, so I'm in the second section instead of the first section. You exit the game, then resume story. When you resume story, all the areas will reset, and you'll actually be able to go back to the last town portal you use, and that treasure chest will reset, so you can pick it up again. See? And, ooh, the occult mask. I think that's the Incantus helmet. That's a really good helmet for the mage. Yep. +5 all attributes, 4 mana to regen. Well, that's a good helmet for the mage. And then you just repeat the process. Now, that's just the first area that you can farm. That's very easy to get gear and equipment. The next area is the Rookery. Now, the Rookery is in Act 2, so yes, throughout the rest of Act 1, there's pretty much nothing worthwhile to farm if you want to quickly get kills. But go to the Rookery, the Lookout. I mean, either way to get to the Rookery doesn't matter as long as you get over there, because you're going to go to a very specific area. You are going to go to where the Mastermind Genius is, which is, I think it's in the old tunnels. He's a very specific boss. I do not recommend, when you are first starting in this area, I do not recommend repeating yourself to going up and down, because If you do not have the health regeneration, there's a lot of easy ways to quickly get yourself killed from all the ranged projectiles that you can see right here. So when you clear this pathway and you allow yourself to fight the Mastermind Genius, I recommend 100% using the town portal trick where you exit the map and then you town portal back exactly where you go. But you go to the old tunnels. This is where the Mastermind Genius is. There's a very specific quest that you have to do in order to progress the main story, so you will always find out, how to get here. But you just head on down. The Mastermind Genius is always somewhere like around in the center over here. Yep, here he is. Hey, buddy. Now, because this is a normal boss, he will mostly drop just rares, and he'll drop essences as well, so that is very nice to do. But one of the other things is he has a much higher chance of dropping set items and unique items. So this is one where he's pretty easy to beat because he shoots slow projectiles and it's mostly poison. And then you town portal roughly around here. Yeah, because these monsters, chased me down. They're too busy still chasing me. That was what the while that was going on. But yeah, you town portal right there, and then exit the game, rejoin it, fight him again. And this the Mastermind boss is very easy because he'll give you equipment that's around level 18 to level 22. And that is where you'll get the majority of set items when you are completing the game here. So it'll give you the best stuff, especially for the mage, the bounty hunter. Yeah, for all three classes, you will get the best set items, and some really good uniques, but the best set items to complete the game with, like Borislav's armor having 7% damage reduction. Oh man, that helps so much. Things like that. You'll get like the rest of the Twilight gear. It's a very worthwhile area to go into. Something that is a nice treat, a nice bonus, is if you have already if you have the crystals and gemstones to get the Borislav's treasure gear, things like that. The game horrifically bugged out on me, and all the enemies are allies right now. It was a good time because I was playing this with a friend in order to get through it together to experience the story. But if you go to the Ink Gate portal where the statue is for King's Borislav for the in the moat section, if you come back here after completing it, you can open all the treasure chests without having to fight any of the monsters. So it's a really easy way to get a few rares. You won't really get uniques or set items this way, but if you need to accumulate some wealth really fast, that's a very easy way to do it. And then on top of that, all the bosses on the map, you can come back and fight again. So if you want to build up glory, which happens later on, like when you reach max level, and yeah, you have to face tougher monsters. It's a really easy way to build that up. And then finally, there is I think there's one more. Oh yeah, there's the industrial port. The elite Behemoth is respawns in the industrial port. I won't show it. It's in the upper left corner of the map. The reason for that is that he's like Mastermind Genius, where he's a repeatable boss, and he's kind of easy to beat, but he doesn't consistently give set items or uniques like Mastermind Genius does. So to me, the Mastermind Genius character is the best version to get. And now this boss is the best boss for multiplayer, and it's not really a boss either. It's just like a little set area that has like a lot of high value gear. So you just come on down here. You have to face 4 gargoyle champions and 4 shoot, I forgot exactly what they're called. Ornithopters, that's right. So you just have to face 4 ornithopters and 4 gargoyles together. along with maybe some creeps. This area is a little bit more challenging, so it's not super easy to farm, but this is pretty much the only area to farm gear that is like between level 26 to level 30. Before facing the final boss, because then you can open up all these treasure chests and then, reset the map, use Town Portal. The reason why this is the only real viable way for multiplayer farming is because the ink gate is within like 6 seconds of fighting those guys. And then if you are playing a multiplayer, you have to leave the server. You have to close down your server to start it back up. And what ends up happening is this little icon here where you get to teleport right back to the old area, that the area that you used your town portal in. The second player, his will be red, but yours will be normal. So you can teleport, pretty quickly, but your ally will have to walk there. So the rooftop mayhem area, which is the room before the final boss in the Palace of Machines, this is the only real multiplayer area that you could do like reliable farming in, which kind of sucks, but what can you do? And those are all of the real farmable areas. I mean, there's different locations for some other cool stuff, like if you need to fight undead monsters or spiders or what have you. But those are the easiest ways to get like some really good gear without having to sweat bullets. And there you go. Hope that helps you guys.